What's going on, guys? Captain Papi here. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you go down there and hit that subscribe button. It helps us out a great deal and we would really appreciate it. Now on with the episode.
How to play the new Kizuna.
Yeah, I heard Rion taught you everything you know, Papi.
Oh, that's amen, dude. That's amen. I've never played this game. I still haven't played this game. What game we talking about today? One Piece Treasure Cruise?
Oh, Dragon Ball Z
Solitaire.
Dokkan Battle.
Oh, Dokkan Battle podcast. Let's go.
That's cringe.
Is that Bejeweled game?
Yeah, close enough.
That's so
Candy Crush.
No, Bejeweled.
Yeah, I remember Bejeweled from when I was like 12.
I'm an elitist about that.
And now you're
Bejeweled was here
1200.
first.
Really, that's how we're starting it. It's talking about
Yeah.
Dokkan. and
I
Bejeweled.
grew up. I was 9 years old, 10 years old, 11 years old, 13 years old because I don't fuck with 12.
Hey, let them know what's going on, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Good, Great, Perfect, episode 31. We're doing it live this time over on twitch.tv/Toadskii.
We're doing it live.
I mean, you can't watch it now, but we are doing a little special episode here today on, as I just said, on Todd's channel. So thank you for hosting us today. But the whole gang is here. You got Cobb, Dill, Joba, Knight, and Todd, and obviously myself as well. A nice slim episode today. A few topics we're going to be discussing. But without further ado, gentlemen, let's just jump right into it. We're going straight in this time. All right. So Colo to Arena. So we've had the recent Arena Kamozo that arrived on the JP version of One Piece Treasure Cruise. And it's the new format now. So no longer will we be having the Coliseum format in which there are multiple battles until you get to the final stage. Now it's just you're straight into it, kind of like a raid style format. What do you just initial thoughts on that? Does that matter to you guys? Does it change anything? What do you guys think about that new format that they're playing with?
It's pretty
Less
weird.
stages.
Yeah.
I didn't really care much for the pre-fights anyway.
One thing though that the pre-fights had is they gave you a reward. So as long as they give you some type of either additional rewards or something, I'm not too sure what the rewards were like, but
That's true.
yeah, usually the rewards went too crazy. It was a couple tomes or maybe gems or something.
Yeah.
But as long as the rewards are fine, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. It is weird though because I was watching a clip of someone clearing the Kamazo fight, and I saw that they actually reused the same Coliseum OST the same fight. So I thought that because it was a new style of thing, they were going to change the music a bit, but it's just the same. So that's a bit lazy, I feel.
There are Chopman missions, I believe. So there were, I think it was gems. There was 2 limit break orbs, I think it was, and something else if I can't remember correctly. But so they were available. But do you think the pre-fights are necessary when it came to the Coliseum style? Do you think they could have just kept the whole Coliseum aesthetic but removed the pre-fights? Was it necessary to have the arena, the whole swap in the first place?
Yeah, I get where they originally had the pre-fights because they do similar stuff to what's in the final boss when you run into them. So I guess it's what to expect in the final boss. But for the most part, everybody just looks up, globally anyway, just looks up how to clear it. But I know this could make a little bit more difficult to try and figure stuff out. Not that much more, but you know what I mean.
At least they got rid of that stupid thing where on the final stage of a Coliseum, on stage 3, it could be 3 different variations.
That sucks.
Oh, that was the worst.
Yeah.
I do agree though. I feel like having the pre-fights was kind of a good idea because it kind of got you into the swing of it. But at the end of the day, you could generally run just a very simple team. You'd clear it once. You'd never ever ever go back to it ever again. It was very there would probably be 0 situations where you would want to go back and farm a pre-fight in general. So now that we have this system, we still need specific limit break materials. What do you guys think there? Do you think that this whole notion now that arena units now are still going to be in the same format? Do you think they should have changed this whole limit breaking system? Do you guys like the limit breaking system where you collect the materials?
I don't like
how
it,
long
but
it takes to drop.
Yeah, it takes RNG can really fuck you over, but it does save you from normal limit break items.
But you still have to use normal limit break items anyway.
Yeah.
Not just as much.
That's true.
That's honestly one of the worst updates that they've ever done to the Coliseum is the specific character
For sure.
Limit break drops, because it's really stupid because when the character gets their specific limit break from their orbs, they don't even get that much from it. It's a couple of extra stats and 1 cooldown or something.
Yeah.
I think they changed it with this time with Kamazo. He actually gets a 3rd ability now, which is kind of cool.
That's like I think it's a step in the right direction though. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely. In terms of like having that available, but at the same time, it's like I still haven't found the reasoning behind having this full reskin to remove. Like maybe it's less work now because it's essentially like they're making a raid unit as opposed to having to create two more, like essentially two mini raids in order to accommodate the major like Coliseum thing. But was it really necessary to do an entire reskin and say, hey, we're removing Coliseum, but now we're going to be adding in like this new arena mode? Like, couldn't they have not just removed the two mini bosses from the Coliseum stage anyway, and then just added the final boss?
Yeah, they
It's
totally
very
could have done
weird.
that.
It's a very weird like choice. I hope that they do more with it now that they have the like they say it's arena mode now. Maybe there's gonna be something new to it, but I guess
Yeah, they can always expand it.
hopefully
like,
though.
they've had to do so much effort with like they had to redesign a few banners and like redesign like a whole new background for that stage. Like I feel like they went like the long way around to just fix a very minor issue of the like the mini boss stages at the start. Like
but at the end of the day, it's the same OST though, like you said.
Yeah,
so like, they went to the effort to do all the like the art, the anime, like this and that, but then they kept the same OST. So I feel like it. Hopefully, we see a push that gives us something new, but at the same time, like, I don't see it being that much different than just saying it's a reskin of a raid. I mean, it is still 50 stam though. So like, you know, it's that middle ground between it being like obviously inherent middle ground between a 16 stam raid or 40 stam raid being a 50 stam arena mode. But it's just a very weird choice to do this whole roundabout system.
In the end, what did it really achieve?
Probably nothing, really.
Yeah, that's like it's a lot of effort for not a lot of payoff. Really,
I agree. I just think like removing the mini bosses only like it saves you maybe like 10 minutes of a player farming, really. And then it's just the same thing. If the mini bosses had dropped, maybe potentially could drop limit break materials, or like heck, imagine if it was like you clear the mini instead of you getting like the weird rewards where it's like you get 10 tomes or 5 candy, like you clear each mini boss would give you 2 orbs. So you'd guarantee yourself at least 4 orbs, and then you'd only have to farm for another 8 orbs, in the actual like Coliseum. So at least there could have been a reason to having the mini bosses, but now it's just
or like what they could have done as well is just made 2 different fights for the Coliseum and like make a slightly easier one where you just drop copies and then make a really hard one that gets you the limit break orbs or something.
They could have done like a 0 stab.
Yeah, if it's guaranteed.
Yeah.
Like what is it? There's the Neo Kinemon had the 0 stam, I believe it was. Where it was like hella hard, but like you got the rewards from it.
Yeah.
They could have potentially, maybe not to the degree of it being really hard in terms of like a 0 stam style, but they could have definitely done something where, like you said, way harder than the Coliseum itself. But if you clear that 6 times, you get all the limit break material you need, period.
Yeah, it's just like it just seemed like updating the Coliseum to Arena just was totally unnecessary. They just didn't need to do it. Like I don't understand it.
I guess like the only kind of benefit to it is now that I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, all the Coliseum units will now be available in the play library.
Yeah.
So like at least everything is there and everything's kind of available for people to use now.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it just makes no sense to me. But on that though, do you guys think that the raid format, like the current raid format, should get an overhaul as well?
In what fashion? Like, I think the raid format is, I guess, similar to the arena is.
Exact same thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, like, they've updated Chopman missions for raids where, like, we always get, like, additional copies and gems for, like, maxing the skill of the character and stuff like that. So,
do you think
I think clashes are kind of fine.
Do you think we'll get to a point where they'll do a limit break system with raids as well now? Or do you think that's just going to be out of, like, that just won't happen?
Oh.
They may, but I hope not.
I hope not.
I could see it happening now. I could see like
they definitely could.
The fact that they've shifted the entire of arena, like they made the whole arena system. I could definitely see there being a potential that the raid mode gets a similar kind of treatment.
Game Freak posted an interesting thing in chat. He said that I didn't even know this. Apparently, when you unlock something from the library, it only lasts for 1 hour.
Yeah.
That's trash.
Yeah. Which is why they kind of give you, I believe it's 200 points. So you can unlock it multiple times, but then again, it's like, I guess like though, because I think the maximum you can spend is 60. Like the maximum cost is 60, I believe.
I think it's
the max cost is 100.
Really? What's 100?
That's for
like the newest stuff?
No, that's like for Coliseums, and
really?
I think raids are No, it's like a whole bunch of different ones. I don't know
yeah.
all of them, but like
Yeah,
I
100's
think
the highest you can spend, right?
yeah, those are like the chaos coliseums.
Yeah.
I think 50 are like the intermediate coliseums, and then there's like a 60 and a 40
Yeah.
and some other stuff like that.
Mm. Well, like I guess then that means you could replay it twice. You get 2 hours with it, but at the same time, it's like it's not very often. Like, like people that are farming quickly and farming efficiently may be able to max out a character in 2 hours. But if you're just like nonchalantly like playing going back, it's going to take you multiple attempts, and you only capping out at 200 points. Only
But
allows
like
you
at
to
the
run
same
it
time
twice.
as well, like it does reset every single day, right?
Exactly.
So
It's available for
yeah.
you to I think it's fantastic for like we mentioned like multiple times, newer players to hop in, but it is like it doesn't really give much benefit to like veteran players unless you just want to like farm candy. I mean, like now it's at least a constant source to farm candy, I guess. At least
That's
it's
true.
constantly
Yeah,
available.
that's very true. It's a nice change.
I mean, like from there though, do you think that like if arena mode itself does get something new or anything, do you guys have any like thoughts and opinions in terms of what they could potentially add to arena mode to change it up a little bit, or do you think it's going to stay the regular kind of it's a 50 stam raid pretty much, or like it's going to stay the current format and anything's going to change?
Yeah, I don't think they'll change it. I think currently right now is fine, but then again, it is like the first of its kind, so they might be trying to test the waters and see how it goes, and maybe from there they'll like maybe adjust stamina or adjust drop rates. Maybe add additional things like as we said, like maybe an additional island where it's more difficult, but you get like high limit break drops, something like that. They could definitely be planning stuff like that, but because it's the first of its kind, it's kind of difficult to kind of judge as to where it's going.
Yeah. I think like with arena mode itself, now that it's like its own little icon on the island, it might make it a little easier to do Neo versions if they wanted to do that. Just because like I think it was like with Kinyamon and with a few other ones, they had to have that like that Coliseum redesign, and then it all appeared on the island. But if they wanted to do Neos of the arena modes, it might be a little easy to do that. But that's far in advance in terms of hopefully
They,
we're
they just
not
spent a
getting a
lot of,
Neo Kamazo straight away.
they
But
spent way too many resources with Arena that they should have just invested into Treasure Map.
bro, one day we're gonna have a 2 hour extra on just discussing Treasure Map, but we'll discuss a little bit today because there's been a few updates there. That's a great segue into the new TM rewards and boosters. So the point rewards have been updated on the JP version. The major rewards now are at 7 mil, you get 10 gems and a red ticket. I don't know what the specifics of the red ticket, so Knight, you can chime in if you know.
It's just a regular red. So where you guys would get the 4 mil red, it's just basically that, but it's
7?
swapped.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
No.
then,
No, my bad. I was just saying, like, your 4 mil red is basically what the 8 mil red was.
Okay, that makes sense. So then we have, so at 7 mil, it's 10 gems and a red. At 8 mil, it's 1 red. At 9 mil, it's 15 gems. And at 10 mil, it's a gold key. And then there's obviously going to be, there's way more limit break materials actually.
It's a lot of gems.
There's a lot though. And I saw like in some few of the lower bracks, they're giving out like 25 of each shard, like 10 or 15 of the middle sized crystals too. So it's actually like a higher than average amount that then, because they usually give out like 1 or 2 of the like shards and stuff, like 10 at max, right? And at 10 is like that number just does nothing when it comes to the limit break stuff. So them giving out way more rewards, especially up to 10 mil, that shows a lot in terms of them potentially going to have continue to increase those point rewards to entice people to continue to push for higher points. What do you guys think about the major reward update though?
It's only for this TM apparently, because like in the notice it says to celebrate the 6.5 anniversary. So I don't think it will be permanent, but if it is permanent, then it's really good.
That's a huge amount of gems. Like if that's permanent, holy crap!
No, 25 extra gems.
Yeah, plus GARP resets as well every month. Like it's a lot of free gems.
Yeah, basically what I was about to say. Yeah, that's so many gems you can get if you're willing to put in the effort too. So
yeah,
but I think it's like it's not bad though. Like 25 extra gems to go to at minimum 9 mil. Like,
because I think like a majority of players that find Treasure Map annoying, or they don't want to put the time investment in, they just don't want to do it. But if there's an incentive to do it, like just adding more gems, like
Yeah, that's a really big incentive too.
I mean, yeah, exactly right. You like what? Like, I mean, like at the end of the day, like, what's the difference between going from 7 mil to 9 mil, right? Once you hit that 7 mil gap, it just gets easier and easier to collect those points. You know, from 0 to 7 mil, it's a lot harder to get that. But then from 7 and onwards, now that like it's grown exponentially, now it makes a lot more sense to get those points a lot faster. But I feel like the 25 gems, if they were to make that a more permanent thing, actually is suitable, because it's not just the gems you're playing for now. And there's a lot more limit break materials available. There are red tickets, and now there's an extra gold key every month now. I mean, like, we don't really need that many. Like, we'll probably cap out at needing how many legends are there at the moment on the JP side included, like 110 at
100
most.
and I think there's like 112 maybe.
Yeah.
10.
So like
around that.
There will be a time where you'll have enough keys. You know, you will be getting excess keys, as if we're going back to 2016 with the Pig Island, you know? So, like, it's going to get to that point where, like, we will have enough keys for the treasure map units. We'll have enough keys for rare recruits and such. So, doing this just is going to speed up that process. But now, what I'm more excited about with these rewards is the potential chance of them actually going forward and increasing the amount of limit break materials actually going to be providing players from now on. So I think that this is now an opportunity to say, hey, we've shown that we can do rewards up to 10 mil. Let's just keep producing these limit break materials, because there's no point in giving every player an extra gold key every treasure map if they can't actually use it in the first place.
Yeah, I totally agree.
You know, like, that's the issue that I have.
Yeah.
Because they're not giving it. If they gave out it within the rewards enough limit break materials to potentially limit break plus one character every month, I would see that as like way more
problem. That's the biggest problem with the game right now is limit break materials, and they're so hard to get.
You can't at the moment. You literally just can't though. Like, if you're not playing like 70, 80 runs of treasure map every single time and very consistently playing as well, you won't keep up with how many limit break materials you need to even just, you know, to limit break the new legends and then the batch. It's going to set you back a bunch. And then for you to try to save up again, it's just a constant cycle where there's no surplus of limit break materials available. And there needs to be some sort of shift. What are you going to say now? You're gonna
like it's good that they reward you for farming a lot, but like I don't like that you're forced to farm that hard. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like, there has to be a balance.
I know Knight wants to clown on it. I can already sense it. Send it, bro. Send it.
I was gonna say, I don't know why you guys aren't doing 80 runs of TM every time.
This guy right here,
dude,
the cookie monster.
The cookie
yes,
sir. What's going on,
I have
guys?
some cookies on me.
You that thing on him, dude.
Stay strapped with the cookie packs, bro. Call this man
on God.
Because you stay munching. But no,
jeez.
No. It makes sense though. Like, it's like, I guess at the end of the day, like, limit break plussing legends just isn't like required as much as I've seen. Like, people always talk about who should limit break plus, I do this and that with, but at the end of the day, there's like a very, very limited list of legends you should limit break plus, and there's a lot of legends that it would be nice to limit break plus them. So I get in that sense it's not required, but at the end of the day, like, it's still a very big part of the game, and it's very important for players. So the chance to do it just should be available.
Yeah, I would agree to that.
Even the freaking limit break packs you can buy in the shop, those are so garbage for the amount of materials you get.
Dick. That is trash,
bro. They're not good.
Bro, why I'm spending 85 Australian dollars, you're giving me 60 shards, 35 medium crystals, and 2 orbs? Go put that up your ass, bro, where the gems are at too. Like, I don't understand it. What's the point? Like, just release a pack that has like 10 gems in it, but it has enough to limit break plus an entire character. Like, I think people are going to be way more inclined to be purchasing limit break plus packs from the gem shop opposed to purchasing gems itself.
But when you say limit break plus, you gotta make sure you clarify limit break plus for legends. Not
legends, exactly.
Characters.
Yeah, legends. 100%.
Why is the discrepancy between legends and the rare?
So much.
It's so much.
Like, you can consistently limit break plus every new TM character that comes out. Yeah. Because it's just not It's like 50 or 100 shards max of like 2 colors. That's what it should have. I don't understand the point of saying, oh, hey, let's make it 400 of each goddamn shard to limit break plus a legend. It just makes no sense in my head. Why? Whoever decided that, I hope they don't have a job anymore. I swear to God.
Oh my God.
Because it just makes no sense though. Like it's so backwards to like to quality of life. It's so backwards to, you know, supporting like a healthy player base, because people don't want to sit and farm the game like consistently every day. I understand that there are going to be people that want to do that and that can do that, and you know what, more power to them. But not the average player will never limit break plus a legend. It'll be very, very rare, if not like you know, it would happen like once a year maximum.
And the annoying part about it is that for the amount of materials that you spend to limit break expand, like they don't really give you much for it. Like the benefits of expanding are not that great for a lot of characters.
Like, can we get into the fact that new legends have a limit break plus?
Yeah, that's stupid.
What's the point of that?
Actually, the only one that debuted without it was like V3 Kuzan and V3 Akanu. Like they didn't debut with one, but then obviously Kuzan got one later. But V3 Akanu doesn't have one, which is weird.
Like, what's the point of saying like, okay, limit break plus is a system where we're going to be able to, you know, make it's like an EZA and Dokkan, right? We're going to have a system where we can make a legend better by, you know, potentially upgrading their captain ability, giving them more stats, giving them cooldown, but saying, okay, new legend kid has just come out, let's give him a limit break plus as all stats. Like, there's literally no point to releasing a new legend and then giving them a limit break plus.
Yeah, it limits their potential.
Because now it's like we have to wait for the next system to come on top, which it's gonna inevitably it's gonna happen, where like it's gonna be a limit break plus, like it's just gonna continue that where you use another key and you can spend more limit break materials to continue to upgrade them. It's just it's a losing system if every single time you need to spend 400 shards of each color, 150 medium materials, and like, you know, 30 or however many orbs it is. It's just so backwards that it makes no sense. But what is also backwards as well is the new I wouldn't say really new, but the new TM Sugofest on JP.
Oh yeah, those units are crazy good. Holy crap.
So there's two sides to this coin now. So there's no specific rare recruit guaranteed at any point. You can get them at 5 and 10 for 5th multi and the 10th multi. And then but on the contrary to that though, these rare recruits are really good outside of treasure map.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's good.
It is. It's fantastic, right? But is it worth the trade-off for no specific guarantee? That's the question I have for you guys. Is that worth the trade-off?
Guarantees are more important to me.
The rate that they're going to be at on the
Sugo. I went shout out to Coruscant. He did 38 multis to get all the boosters.
Yeah, no, that's bullshit.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, looking at the steps right now, the first step with a guaranteed unit is the 5th step, and it says just any new character guaranteed.
One of the 3. It's one of the 3, yeah.
So you could get the lowest booster from doing 5, or you could do, you know, the highest booster, but...
Exactly. It's just like, but, for example, let's say that this structure comes to global. Are you guys doing 5 more?
No. Absolutely not.
There's just I struggle to warrant doing 3 these days.
I'll do 2 on the on the banner. If I get no boosters, all right, I get no boosters. We move. Like it's still trash. At least guarantee 1 on the 3rd and the 5th and then the 10th. Just keep that system, but make the units viable outside of treasure map, because then more people are going to pull on these banners because they're limited.
Like considering the lowest booster is like not that far upgraded.
He's trash. He's like, so bad still.
Yeah, like the typical one that's guaranteed on the 2nd is like always pretty mid. Like it doesn't matter. You just want it so you get more points. But then like the other 2 ones are typically like really bad outside of treasure map, and you want them for points. But this time around, it's like, you know, the lowest booster is pretty much the same, but then the 2 other ones are like amazing outside of treasure map.
Absolutely.
And they're amazing inside treasure map as well, and they have amazing support effects.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so
I wanted to jump in real quick and take a from the chat. Earthquake. He says the global steps will be better. Well, considering Kizuna, Luffy, and Boa's structure, we can't guarantee that anymore because I believe this followed a very similar structure to JP as well. There was no like if we're thinking that Boa is gonna if we're thinking that global is gonna get it better, we don't know that for sure. Because
this Sugofest was shit.
It was terrible, right? 100%.
For a chance at the best.
A coin flip. You know,
Yeah, and I
like,
got fucked.
exactly right. So like we don't know that. Like at least in the previous Team Kizuna, if you wanted to do, you could sit and say, if I do 10 multis, I'm gonna walk away with every booster, every ticket booster at least, right?
They got to warrant doing that amount of multis.
Exactly. Now you're sitting here, you're doing 10 multis, and you're guaranteed 2, and one of them's a coin flip between the 2 of them as well. So like we don't know that for sure at the moment. Like I guess we can kind of say maybe like the big Sugofest, we can almost generally guarantee that Global's going to have a better situation at hand.
Yeah,
but
the first co-op Kizuna clash was so much better.
it
with
was so good,
structure.
right?
Yeah,
and I think that they realized that
and the units were better.
I think that's what they realized though, that like Global, like we fucked it up by going so hard and getting so many tickets, because with box 7 being 999 as well, you could generate 80 of each tablet if you went for 35,000-40,000 tickets. You know, this time around we've had to warrant doing probably more multis on average across the board with everyone, and box 7 has 1,500 items as opposed to the original 1,000, and it's still only 3 tablets of each. So like it's weird how we jump between Glow Best and Quality of Life Global going all the way, then we take a step backwards again. I don't understand.
Yeah, one step forward, 2 steps back.
But it is like that though. I agree, Dill. Like Global always, like, you know, you look at French and you're like, all right, Global the wave, Yoshi goaded. Then this banner comes out and it's some doo-doo, and you're like, what the hell, man? Like it just makes no sense of why we keep flipping between each side. I don't know. But do you think that Luffy and Hyo are worth pulling for? If you guys have had a look at them at all,
They are really good.
I actually haven't had a look.
I'd say Hero is.
I would agree. I'd say Hyo's more.
Yeah,
worth it
Luffy's
than
a bit
Luffy.
difficult because like there's so many good Luffys, but this is the first Hyogoer in the game, so having his abilities are really good.
Would it be worth checking 5 though? Like,
no,
I don't know, man.
Like honestly, if their structure is going to be like this moving forward, where the first guaranteed unit is on 5, like I'm not going to pull on treasure maps.
I'm literally not going to.
Same.
But then the issue to that is you don't pull a treasure map, you get less points. You're going to be less inclined. You're going to be less inclined to farm potentially, which means less limit break materials overall. It
also depends. It totally depends at the time, like what I'm personally missing as well. Like if I'm missing a certain legend and it's boosted, I'll do some pulls.
I mean, I guess that does come into our next topic, which we'll slide into real quick.
These segues are
the Sugofest Renaissance that has happened on Global. You know, I was just shit talking it, but we're taking some interesting steps now. So, how JP recently had as well, we did receive the 1 gem multis. And we had a really interesting thing that happened simultaneously on JP and Global. Only 10 legends are available. What are you guys' thoughts just straight up on that? 10 legends maximum you can pull from. Very limited pool, that means.
Well,
those rates are insane.
I like it. It's really cool. Like I saw Todd talk about it earlier in his stream. I didn't read the legends because I just assumed like, oh, surely it'd be like
the new legends, right?
Like the 2 newest legends plus like an amalgamation of like good legends and like obviously the shittier legends stuff pulled out that weight pool. But Devin Todd told me, oh no, it's only kid. I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
but,
you have to wait till a different part.
Yeah, exactly. But that's really good because like I saw Todd got kid. I pulled a dupe kid as well, and a lot of people actually managed to get this legend.
And V3 Law was there too, which is like bonkers as well. So like exactly, you know, so like and sorry to go back to what Joba said, 5% base rate. Each legend the same rate, which is just insane.
0.5% for every legend. Like that's a crazy thing. Is like that if you're looking for any one of those 10 legends, it is amazing. But if you're in that situation where you have all of those, or the ones that you don't have are like or the one that you don't want is like boosted, like, it does kind of suck because you don't even have a chance of getting the other ones.
So from that then, do you guys think that this is a Sugo structure that'll happen on debut batches, on major Sugofest, or do you think it's only going to be privy to Kizuna banners and TM banners and
Bro, imagine a debut banner where the character is 0.5%.
I don't see it ever. I don't see it ever happening. I just think it's never going to be the case.
So I can see it being like the Christmas Sugofests.
Yep. Those weird event style Sugofests, right?
Yeah, like the obscure ones.
The part 3s of the anniversary style style
Yeah.
Sugofest, where they're a little bit more unique in structure and
like all of the side like holidays, like the Easter egg stuff
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I just don't like. It's such a
Blazing Gamer said in chat that it says on JP Notice that they will regularly do most Sugos, not all of them, with only 10 legends from now on.
I don't see them doing debut batches with this.
Yeah,
that's probably what the not all of them would mean.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
debut matches are probably off limits,
I just think like if they were to do a debut batch, right? Because like nowadays we're getting 2 legends batch, right?
A lot of the
so
time.
so like if they're gonna do it with debut batches, it's gonna always be. I could only see them doing it as like, okay, let's say the Luffy, Sanji, Sweet Commanders, Germa, right? Each one of them will only be available on their particular part. There won't be a part where they're all available. That's the only way that I see them doing it.
Yeah, and what I was going to say is that if they if this is a regular thing going forward, and so for debut Sugofest they don't do it. Like they're like, okay, it's still the whole Liverpool. I would be more inclined not to pull on the debut Sugofest and then pull on the Sugofest immediately after because you have a better chance.
100%.
But then again, the steps might be crazy on debut banners.
That's the toss up that we have. That's like that's where you have to kind of like to decide then, because looking at things like French Annie banner, looking at the super type banners, like if we're getting debut banners that are of that caliber, I'm probably going to be more inclined to be pulling on a debut banner as opposed to this Kizuna one, because God forbid I'd ever do 10 multis if it wasn't like a Kizuna clash of some sort, Otherwise, like it'd be like a TM thing, but I'd do at most like 1 or 2. So it's kind of like it's very weird how they've kind of slid this whole idea in of adding it in that sense. So like from
it
that,
really came out of the blue. Like I don't understand what the theory was.
Do you think 10 legends is too little though, or do you think it's enough?
No, I think 10 is like
10 is the perfect amount considering the amount of legends that are on global, and like it also narrows the pool out of like the old crap legends.
It's so weird because like not only did they do that, but like also that base rate boost to 5%, and then
that's doing that, and then me the most
because like having 5% and there only being 10 possible characters you could pull from that 5%, like that's crazy. It's so out of the blue. But I think honestly what this whole structure is trying to do is to try and get people to utilize the Sugo medal exchange.
And that's where I wanted to slide into there. So now that we have this this Sugo medal exchange, with now limited pools and such, in theory, right, only 10 legends or 20 legends, depending how many parts there are going to be available at any particular time to pull. So that gives them the opportunity now to say, hey, your legend that you want isn't available, but it's available in the Sugo medal pool for 450 tokens.
And isn't this a similar thing than what Dokkan does? Like only certain LRs are available in certain banners and stuff like that, no matter how old they are. So I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner, to be honest. But
people have wanted it for a while. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It's like that where like we've wanted it, but is this how we want it to be done as? Where it's just gonna be like 10 and there's no real like continuity in terms of what legend's gonna be available. Like now that we know, okay, we had this 10 on part 1, and then the next Kizuna part we had Hawkins and a few other legends as well. Like what's the next 10 gonna be?
Yeah, it also
wait.
It sort of incentivizes you to pull more because you don't know if a legend that you're wanting to get is going to be in the next.
Exactly, 100%. But then I guess that's where the Sugo medal shot comes in, where it's like, well, if you haven't pulled them yet, you can buy them here, but then you need to pull to get the medals anyway. So again,
I don't think it's a bad change.
No, I don't think it's a bad change either. It's just a matter of how they decide to.
I feel like updating the Sugo medal shop only once per month is not good.
Not enough if they're going to do
this. I feel like it needs to be updated like once a fortnight.
I think so too. If they're going to make it 10 legends max, it needs to be updated very quickly now.
Yeah, considering how often banners are cycling in and out, and then again, it depends how many banners that come in that are restricted.
I guess like if you kind of factor in, for example, this is off the top of the dome, you're looking at one debut banner every month on average, give or take, and then at least a TM banner, a Kizuna banner, and then maybe something else, right?
Or maybe like each month when they reset it, like those characters that are on the exchange are like basically guaranteed to not be one of the 10 selected units in that
I
month.
would like that. I think that's a very good idea.
And if they have like 2 banners, let's say hypothetically, that are restricted to 10 legends, those 10 legends on each of those banners would not be the Sugo Metal Exchange units. Like that would make sense. Yeah.
I would hate the fact if there was a metal shop unit in the metal shop and then he was also available on the actual banner itself.
Yeah, that would suck.
I would hate that part of it. Because that to me it just removes the incentive at all to spend on the metal shop, period. Or it removes the incentive to pool at all, I want to be able to pool and then, eventually spend my medals on something at some point, right?
Yeah.
Because fortunately for Global, we've got it very early in comparison, obviously, inherently to what JP has it, but we have it very early before any major Sugofests have come out. So the chances of us being able to spend the medals on some really good characters is probably a lot higher than what JP would currently have at the moment. But at the same time, now there has to be a balance of incentive to the point where do you want players to be spending gems on the banner in order to get the new legend, or do you want them to spend gems on the banner in order to get Sugo medals? Very weird, very like narrow tightrope that Bandai has to walk and not really annoy anyone, which they're very good at doing, privy to this Kizuna banner that just released. Because I, for one, was very shocked at hearing that there wasn't all 3 guaranteed for 10. But then everyone's like, oh, but Papi, there's 2 1-gem multis. I don't give a damn, bro.
Yeah, I think overall the structure, like despite the 10 restricted characters, like no one's really pulling on this banner for the legends.
Yeah, 100%. You're
People
not
pulling
though.
for the units, the new debut characters.
Joba did because he's a clown, but he did get rewarded though. So
I did.
More power to him.
Yeah.
But I agree with that in the sense like when it comes to, let's say, TM banners or Kizuna banners, for example, you are pulling to get the boosters. If you get, let's say you get Kid, or you get Law along the way and you didn't have them, it's now an added bonus to it, right? But generally,
it's not the original incentive.
Without a doubt. So like, it's just a very weird like situation here. But maybe that Bandai wants to kind of incentivize you now. Oh well, you want to continue pulling on it. Like, okay, now you're pulling for the legends more than you are for the boosters. They want to make that more the incentive. But that's just a weird kind of situation if that were to be true.
Yeah, that's why I think this 10 restricted pool thing is most likely going to be on banners that are those side banners that are
event banners, side banners,
characters, like whether it be a limited rogue banner or a support banner or a Kizuna banner.
I didn't put it in the notes, but didn't JP just have a drop of 4 supports?
Yes, and they're all very, very good.
They're all very. I haven't looked. We might discuss them. We might discuss them in next episode probably. I'd say. But on that banner, I remember it saying steps 11, 12, 13, and 14 each guaranteed a unit.
Yep.
Which is bonkers. That's so much, dude. I mean, like,
who's doing 14 multis on a
corresponding 38 for all the bro? There's people that are definitely doing that stuff though. So but like it's
the
just,
Japanese are just different, man.
They built different, bro. I mean, somebody had to spend 230,000 gems.
Dude, in order to I want to meet that guy. I want to have a conversation with that man.
Don't those rewards
the
drop
19th, I think it is, I believe.
Oh shit.
Yeah, 19th.
Let's go.
We're gonna
find out that Nightmare spent 200.
Nightmare spent 230,000 gems,
guy.
bro. That's crazy.
Yes, sir.
He could have bought 230,000 cookies with that amount.
If I still
got those cookies.
If I start my old account, I'd be like scared, like merging with what I've already spent on this account as well.
It'd be interesting. It'd be really interesting to see what happens. Like,
it depends. When do you think that's coming to global? Because I have no freaking clue when that's coming.
I'd say the earliest we could see it would be our anniversary, but I doubt. But I could see it maybe end of next year. I could potentially.
Oh, you reckon it can be that late?
Yeah, I don't see it being any earlier than earliest anniversary.
Like anniversary makes sense.
I would see French Annie. They'd probably do it because they love French Annie for some reason.
Yeah, French Annie always lit.
Shout out to Tau Corner, But like, them French boys do go crazy. They go crazy hard, but French Annie always goes way harder. So I could definitely see them doing it around French Annie, our anniversary time. But the rewards would be different for us though. They just would be. They would, because no one's hitting that upper echelon of gem spent. I mean, I don't know. It'd be interesting.
Or maybe they'll keep the rewards the same, and then it'd be like they'll just like if you reach 230,000, you get that. But if you didn't, you didn't.
It certainly feels like we've spent that many, though.
It feels like it, but when the number comes in, you'll be like, oh, that's still a lot.
It was only like
130,000, whatever.
Yeah.
It's not
They
that
should
much.
definitely scale it
Shit.
down though.
Spend 1,000
like,
gems.
Global players haven't spent nowhere near as many gems as the JP players.
No, not at all. I mean, like, I could. There's a few in my head that have spent some decent amounts, but like nothing along those lines. I mean, if
Some people in the chat right now.
yeah, there's a few there are some, but no, it'd be really cool to see that. But I wanted also to continue on this kind of trend of the JP side of it. JP had a 2020 legend on the Kaido vs Big Mom banner. Is this the start for 2020 legends being a Sugofest step?
Wait, was that a thing? I did not know that.
Yeah, I think it was
15.
15. Yeah, that's right.
Guaranteed unit that released in this year.
2020. Yep.
Damn, that's pretty good.
So are we finally going to get that refresh where we're going to, instead of it being 2019, have it being December 2019 or something like that? So it's crossed for that one.
Yeah, I hope so. That makes sense. I mean, like you got to keep updating it over time. You know, you can't just have 2019 legends all the time. So
it's going to come next year. It's going to come to a point where it's like no one wants 20.
So like, what would that include? Would that include, is that Sober Mask and Luffy Zoro onwards, or is it after that?
I think it includes them, no?
I think it was
technically didn't their banner release like the day before New Year's? I don't remember actually.
Did it?
Yeah, it was. It was in 2019.
Oh shit!
Damn, so what was after that?
It was
Shanks Crew, no?
Shanks Crew, Nami Robin, Shanks
Nami
Crew,
Robin after them? I thought they were before it. Oh no,
yeah, they were before.
Oh, what else was in May?
Oh no, you're right because the Valentine's Day stuff was Nami, Robin, and Pudding.
So what was before? What was after Sober and Luffy Zoro?
Nami, Robin.
Was it really that 2-month gap? Did Bandai really wait?
No, because Nami Robin came out like late January.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had like the Whole Cake Island Blitz for Valentine's Day.
Oh, when's that coming to Global?
Bro,
no, that's a sweet community one. Don't worry, I'm fucked that up. But so like that's a crazy ass multi though.
Oh, Chopper, right?
Oh shit!
Oh no, the Chopper was Christmas.
Chopper,
yeah.
It was before that. Yeah, it was even before that.
It's Nami Robin upwards.
2019 or 2020 Legends. Does it mean from the Japanese standpoint if it came to global, or to come from the global standpoint? Because
on JP, it's whatever the time period is on JP.
Yeah.
On global, it's whatever the time period is on global.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then, yeah, because Chopper's in May as well for us.
For us, it was So like, it would be from Nami Robin putting onwards then.
Yeah. If that came to global, like a 2020 character, our New Year's was the first character that released that was a Sugofest exclusive in 2020 was Bullet for us.
Oh, gross.
Damn, imagine the worst legend you could pull on a ticket being Bullet. Shout out.
No, it's
shout out to that guy.
It's Pudding, Kappa.
Hey.
Shout out Flame one time, bro. It's a good step in that direction there. But do you got all right? Then on continuing from that Kaido and Big Mom ting, they were guaranteed on 30 on their debut though. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's bad.
I think it's so backwards. Like so backwards, bro.
Oh, that's so bad. Like, yeah, I don't understand. Like, considering how big of a celebration it was, it should have been like 25 minimum.
Like
the maximum. Sorry.
Anniversary, and I'm like, bro, why is it guaranteed on 30 then? It just, I mean, people were pulling it.
It was guaranteed on 30.
Kaido Big Mom was guaranteed on the 30th step. So like the Mercy was the 30th pull. Obviously, I think Knight fucking got them way early. And I saw like TSF did, Coruscant did, hella people got them a lot earlier than 30. But to cap it at to say 30 multi, it's just like I don't rate them that highly personally, so I'm not seeing myself do 30. If they drop to 25,
cap, dude, they're amazing.
No.
Get out of here, man.
Get out of town, you know what I'm saying? Luffy Sanji right there beating shit up.
Oh my
and Shanks
god.
right there playing with the ball, right? Tell Kaido Big Mom to hold that L and they can sit in third place where they belong, bronze status. But it's just not 30 multis worth though. Are you gonna sit there? Are you gonna tell me? Argue me why 30 multis is worth it for them, please. I want to hear this.
Nah.
And Luffy Sanji guaranteed 25, dog, and they're the best legend in the goddamn game.
Were they 25 or they were 20?
That's 20's even better than. Like, what do you mean? Like, it doesn't work though. I just don't see.
Yeah, actually, Rye makes a good point.
I did just read that, and I hate
Rye
Rye.
makes a very good point.
I actually hate Rye because he's so goddamn smart. He's 100% right. It is 2 legends for 30 multis, but they're still doo-doo. I don't kid. No, I'm joking. No, it makes sense, right? 30 multis, 2 legends. It does make sense. But for, like you were saying, for them to have this whole celebration and say it's 6.5, Annie, it's a big celebration. Thanks for playing. You still have to do 30 multis though. It just doesn't add up. When we've had situations where like the fact that the Luffy Sanji Sweet Commander Germa banner went harder than this banner, just I don't know. Like it's very backwards to see how, like, who the hell is structuring this Sugofest. I want to meet them and just pick their brain.
Yeah, JP gets shafted with their steps
all the time.
Yeah,
all the time. I think there's been some very good posts from Fate of Muffins on the subreddit where he has like he's been like tracking like the best, like all the Sugofests in terms of like their quality and such. And JP just does not keep up at all with the global standard. And it really like, I mean, like I've been like looking at like the JP Twitter a lot. A lot of those players are really starting to complain a lot under a lot of those tweets, which is like, I mean, good on them as well. Like they deserve to be heard and such.
I mean, Global out here spamming all red multis all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Like it just doesn't really like add up a lot of the time. So I just wondering where they're gonna go from here in terms of like, using the 10 legend. Like, all right, I'm just gonna on the fly question. 10 legends, how are we structuring those 10 legends? Not the legend itself, but like newest legends, old legends, support like how would you what's a realistic and even pool of legends in terms of like new top tier this and that style for a Sugofest?
In my ideal situation, I would say that half of the list has to be from the past 12 months.
I reckon the legends in the list have to in some way have relevance to the content that is coming out.
Or synergy with themselves, I reckon, would also be a big, like a huge factor too. Like if you're pulling 2 legends that like kind of work well together, it's hella more worthwhile to be pulling a banner like that as opposed to just pulling legends that just make no sense. But all right, let's say half of the legends from 12 months ago. Legends have to be relevant to the content that's coming out. What else do you think? Do you think how many like doo-doo tier legends like would be realistic to put in the 10?
2.
2 or I'd say 2 or 3.
Absolute dog shit tier legends. 2.
I'd say 2 or 3. There has to be at least, right?
No, I mean, it'd be like 2 doo-doo tier, and then one. If you're gonna say 3, that third one has to be like a support tier, like a Corazon.
Yeah, Corazon or Rayleigh.
I wouldn't even consider Rayleigh and Corazon a doo-doo tier.
No, but we're saying like above that doo-doo tier, right?
I mean, like in terms of old,
like support tier.
Yeah, in terms of old, right? So like you have you'd have 2, like let's say like arbitrarily like V1 Lucci and like bloody I don't know like Fujitora, right? And then above that, you would have something like a V1 Ray or a Corazon or a Neko or a V1 Jinbei even would be a shout too. And then you have 2 more slots where I guess you'd put in more like
relevant type stuff.
You'd have maybe like a Carrot in there, maybe like a V2 Kata style legend, something along those lines. And then you'd have 5 legends in the last 12 months. Yeah, like that, V2 Gi 4, V1 Nami would even get up there. And then you'd have above that, then you have 5 legends from the last 12 or 18 months, I'd say would be worthwhile. You think that? But is that fair?
No, it's hard, man. I'm just glad I'm not the one in charge. Decisions are hard.
It's a very hard thing to design a pseudo structure because you have to design it so it's not only is it going to actually like people are going to pull on it. You have to design it so it's enticing so that people will spend money on it. And B, for the people that are spending money on it, they actually get their money's worth per se.
Yeah, you don't want to drive people away from
exactly right. Because I think the fortunate position of global right now is that we get the option to look at a JP banner and be like, oh, this banner's doo-doo, we can skip it. But for JP players, you don't know what the next banner will be like. So it kind of like it's very weird.
Yeah, it all comes down to that metal exchange. Yeah, that's completely true.
It's hard because like I think the metal exchange and the way that that's going to be structured very it's going to reflect how the Sugo the limited pool is going to be structured as well.
Yeah.
Do you think that with the limited pool structure in terms of legends, they should also like reflect that with the rare recruits that are available? In terms of like whatever legends are released, only have their rare recruits available to be pulled as well. Do you think that's too much?
I think that might be a little bit. That could be a little bit too much. I think it should, all the rare recruits should literally be like rare recruits that have some sort of effect, whether it's special or their support effect or whatever, or even a captain ability that assists again in the missions coming up.
I don't know what they did, but it seemed really easy to get like the rate boosted rare recruits this time around.
Yeah. They finally
like
the
Snake Man batch rare recruits and like the Dex super type batch rare recruits were very prevalent.
I struggled to get X Drake. Oh no, page 1. I struggled to get page 1.
I just now got page 1 on the 9th multi.
So like it's exactly. I don't know. Like I feel like if they're gonna start doing this with legends, I mean, like obviously legends is always not always, sorry, but generally going to be the most enticing part about a Sugofest. They need to start reciprocating that same kind of limiting for rare recruits as well. Because
like the amount of times I've had to do I've been lucky enough to pull like Kid in in the 3rd multi. I think
but then you can't pull his batch for 35 multis. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm looking at you, Usohachi.
Exactly. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. We've all had that white whale rare recruit we just can't pull on, no matter if rate boosted or not. So there needs to be some sort of like, you know, it needs to be an equilibrium where people don't want to be pulling 2015, 2016 rare recruits, but at the same time, you just need to start limiting things so that
these fake golds as well. Jesus Christ.
There needs to be. I
don't understand. How are base Straw Hat still in the pool?
I don't know. We don't talk about that shit.
Kaya and Nojiko and Dr. Hurlock.
But then to them they're like, yeah, but we gave Crocus a support. You're like, what the? I don't give a damn. Like I'm not using that trash. Like, get out of here, dog. I'd rather pull on a support banner. Like, it's not. It's weird. Like, I guess then that also circles back around to the idea of being like, well, maybe limit breaking needs to be fixed in terms of updating older characters to make them more relevant. Maybe there needs to be a new system. So it's just going to be a constant vicious cycle for things to percolate between. So I don't know where Treasure Cruise really goes from here, but we have a lot of big things coming up in terms of Christmas and New Year's, you know, potentially could go crazy. I mean, hopefully it does go crazy. And then you have things like our anniversary, JP's anniversary is coming up very soon as well.
That'll be an interesting one to watch.
Exactly. So like it's all going to be a matter of now.
I'm so interested to see what they're going to do with the anniversary this time around. Now that Yoshi's the producer,
I'm interested in what they're going to do for everything now that Yoshi's the producer. Like you got to the way he is with the community and how we've seen that he accepts the feedback and stuff. Like I reckon something as simple as like the Christmas and New Year's Sugofest and even stuff leading up to the anniversary could be quite enticing and debating. You know what I mean?
Dude, honestly, like that idea that you had where it was like Christmas Sugo, have it like limited pool, like 10 legends, right? Just put 3 parts and release them all at the same time. And just have three pools of legends where all of them are like obviously like the same like mixed bag thing. But like all of them are like good in each pool and have everything be like either 30 gem multis all the way or like every 3rd multi is 1 gem multi or something along those lines where people are like, okay, I can spend a lot of gems here and catch up on a lot of legends, or I can wait and you know and gamble it all on anniversary going crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Give the option there. But like we didn't really talk about it, though. 1 gem multis, that's crazy. Like
first time on global. Yes. I know JP's had it before.
I'm gonna say this: all my 1 gem multis were dog shit.
I mean, like, but at the end of the day,
yeah, I mean, they were shitty, but my dumbass went to 8 just to have those 2 1 gem multis.
At the end of the day, like, it's worthwhile though. Like, it's 1 gem, you get, you know, hopefully you're gonna get 3,000 points. You get 3,000 array points. Like,
it's almost a free multi. Like, it's essentially a free multi.
You log in, you pull a multi. That's it. Bandai's giving you a tip. You know, like. It's there, which is I think is very positive. 1 gem multis.
Also, I'll say they're better than free multis because they're halfway through the
they count
actually have the race.
Yeah,
right? And they progress the step further. It's not like you do a free multi and it doesn't do And oh yeah, a good point actually. You get the medals out of the one. You're spending 1 gem. You're getting 10, 11 medals anyway.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's very worthwhile. With in that sense too. But now I just hope they start to really incorporate it more. Not in the sense of like oh we're greedy players. We want everything to be cheap, which I mean obviously we do. But you kind of hope that they start to incorporate it more in things like treasure map and things like in maybe anniversaries every so often you kind of have these 1 gem multis pop up.
But then again, you just gotta hope that doesn't affect the steps too much. Like as we discussed earlier, like the fact that we have to go so deep for the boosters, it's not.
And rates
great.
is now going to be the issue where like if they're going to start saying 1 gem multi, it's very easy to progress the steps now. It's like hopefully we see this 5% legend rate become the norm outside of this 10 legend limited pool thing as well. I guess we'll see when the next debut batch happens on JP whether or not they actually get the 10 legend limited pool, and it kind of will go from there. So hopefully in the next coming weeks, in the next coming episodes, we'll kind of see things from there.
Yes, sir.
Anything else on that this week, gentlemen?
Let's have a look on the subreddit Discord real quick, just see if there was anything that got revealed today, or they've got the upcoming co-op Kizuna clash.
Actually, that's a good thing to talk about. What the hell? All right, I didn't put in the notes, so I'm going to just bring this on you guys. Why would you do a team Kizuna and then just out of nowhere tweet out and say, "Oh, by the way, get your teams ready. Team Kizuna is coming out in a day." Like, what goes through your head to do that? It makes no sense to me.
They didn't even because typically when they do it on JP, they announce it on their newsletter on their Twitter. Like, oh, there's an upcoming co-op Kizuna clash. Get prepared for it. But this one, they're just out of the blue, like, oh, by the way, tomorrow we're announcing a co-op Kizuna clash. And then the day after, they revealed the website. Team creation started. Like, it was very quick.
We spoke about this last Team Kizuna, didn't we? That there wasn't enough warning.
Yeah.
No, this is even worse in Japan, I think, isn't it?
100%. Literally came. I'm fairly sure they just finished the Team Kizuna.
And for a lot of hardcore players, it's not that bad, but
their teams are already made.
People like us, we've already got our team set out for the foreseeable future, unless people quit. So if people like us, that wouldn't affect. Like, oh shit, okay, let's do this quick. But there's so many people that don't check the game daily or don't have a team preset already.
I mean, it's hard to get a team of 10 people together. Just inherently, right? Like, I know there's some very good people in the community that have Discords currently set up to make really good teams of equally skilled players and such. So it does well in that sense. But to spring it on players so quickly, just it's not that I don't know. It's very frustrating to me to see that, and just to think from a JP player's perspective. People were complaining in the replies to that tweet, which is again much deserved, because it just made no sense to say, oh, by the way, I'm the Team Kizuna. My only theory of why they did that was because they released the Kizuna shop, but I believe that there was no medals available in the previous Team Kizuna. So I think the only reason why they did the Hawkins Team Kizuna now is to give out those Kizuna medals for the shop. I think they might have forgotten, oh shit, we need to give out those medals because we were meant to give them out during the kid one. So now it's they're going to just push them really quickly. That's my theory, but that's very tinfoil hat. And
yeah, I have no idea.
it just makes no sense. It really, really, really makes no sense why they jump so quick.
Yeah, it was very bizarre, very, very quick. Maybe they didn't have all the assets prepared yet. I'm not too sure.
We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. It's very interesting. I mean, they characters look cool. No legends, only boosters. So
that was one thing as well. Because when we saw the banner, we're like, "Oh, is Zora a new legend?"
Finally, new legend.
Because they just had the co Kizuna clash last month with Halloween Shanks, which debuted a legend, which was interesting. Yeah.
So everyone kind of expected that's going to be the move going forward, but
I guess it was a relatively small time period between this being announced and the Kaido Big Mom coming out, but. I mean, towards the end of this month, at the end of November, I would say Global's going to get Sugar Smoker, and then I assume JP is going to have another legend release.
Is that already in some of our information stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
It already says it there, so I think the assets are already in the game as well.
There's already assets for Sugar and V3 Boa.
Oh yeah, so
She's got plenty of assets. You know what I mean?
Oh, my man.
Let them know, Jobski.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I think the next coming months for Treasure Cruise is going to go pretty crazy. So, stay tuned for more content from us, though. But on that note, question time. So, for this special episode of Treasure Cruise, you in Todd's stream currently, type in some questions if you want us to answer live. And the Bill's dying, which is fine. He can die. Please die quieter. So just put those messages in chat. Everyone will be looking and keeping questions aside. We have a few questions we'll go through first, and then we'll jump to some chat questions if there are any. I want to start from @4U Matthew asks, what are your predictions for the New Year's Sugo banner on JP and Global?
I mean, I've been wanting Odin for the longest time. That would be amazing.
I reckon, like I said last time, I reckon simultaneous release Odin is happening on the New Year's and Christmas banner. Oh, sorry, New Year's banner.
Everyone pretty much has that same consensus.
Simultaneous banner is time.
Everyone's gonna be so mad when it doesn't happen, though.
Oh my days!
It's like everybody who asks for Rogers. Like, it's not gonna happen.
It's not. No. Rogers not happening. Odin though, I definitely see.
No, the only Roger we got was on the artwork for Raid Rayleigh.
Yeah, that's
the closest that we're ever getting.
This game is shutting down before we ever see a legend, Roger. That's on God.
So I think Odin is what most people want to see. But is there anything that Odin is like a pipe dream? But is there anything that is totally feasible? 100%, you think it could definitely happen? Odin is a maybe, I would say. But
Legend X-Strike would be cool.
Yeah, to say
for New Year's.
New Year's.
That's the issue for me, right? It's it's not a matter of releasing because you could release any of these great characters from Wano, right? But it's a matter of satiating the hype of everyone saying, because it is a New Year's banner, so everyone already has the preconception of it being crazy. So you have to kind of release a character that's going to follow suit.
Was New Year's ever really crazy? What's the craziest New Year's one we've had?
Well, for global, our New Year's are really bad.
Gem Valley, so
Our New Year's are really bad on global. We don't typically have debut stuff. It's always just an insane step up Sugos. Whereas JP actually release super hot fire.
Super hot fire.
Last year was Sober Mask and Luffy Zora. The year prior to that was Snake Man and Katakuri. So I don't know.
Riz a good shout. Young Whitebeard would actually go crazy.
Whitebeard would be freaking insane.
Right?
I mean,
that'd be kind of tight. So I don't know. It's gonna be very interesting.
What if they did a new Legend Jinbei?
No, I don't want that. I don't think a Jinbei is doing. Bro, Kizaru is as good as dead.
What if they did a dual Luffy Kid?
Oh, that's actually quite cool.
Don't put the energy out there because you know that there's a big chance that could be the case.
A new Legend Marco would actually.
That would be so
different.
Tight. That would be so tight, dude.
The Scabbards.
Yeah, I could see them doing some sort of maybe a Kinemon lead, and then having a crew unit or some sort. I mean, hopefully they do some sort of crew unit.
No, they just release each one as an individual legend.
9 legends on New Year's.
Legend Apu, get out of here.
A countdown to Christmas, 9 days in. Each day.
No, bro, hell no, dude. Hell no, bro. Guaranteed the 20th multi each one. You're gonna do 180 multi.
Yeah, and then Christmas is Odin.
Yeah, by the way, after doing 180 multi, 30 guaranteed for Odin.
Yeah, it's just the countdown to Odin. There you go.
Oh, you remember that there is a new producer video soon.
True. We could get some.
I mean, we don't know when that's happening, but there is one coming soon. So what if that reveals something?
I reckon if anything, they're just gonna reveal Sugar Smoker.
You reckon it's that soon? Oh, that'd be cool. No, but I don't know if they'd do that for them.
I think it's gonna be something I think the produced video will come out after Sugar Smoker. They might tease it Boa, but I reckon that producer video is gonna tease that New Year's doing something. I don't know, what if I doubt it will, but I reckon that New Year's that video will tease it as something, maybe a collaboration, maybe a World Clash like joint event in style.
Dokkan collab.
Let's go. Luffy versus Goku unit.
Yo,
That'd be dope, actually.
Snake Man versus friggin' Ultra Instinct.
Hold on.
It's time.
Dude, these guys are destroying planets and shit. Don't get too
Yeah.
crazy.
And Luffy's just a stretchy boy.
Getting beat the fuck out of by a donut boy. Like, what you saying? Shout out donuts again. Fuck cookies.
Yikes. L.
Knight's not happy.
I could,
Go.
I could see like more like Kaido's followers, like the Queen like Queen and like King Queen dual legend versus legend.
If
Or
they
Queen and Queen Big Mom versus, that would have been cool if they didn't do Kaido.
they could do like they can't really do another Kaido, but definitely see a Queen King legend potential. But then again, it's like they just got rare recruits, and I mean, like, I don't know, maybe you could see that on New Year's potentially coming up, but
That would be the first time that something got a rare
Right,
recruit and then the next time it's legend.
Yeah, no, I agree, but I don't know. It's to me very weird. Then maybe new Ace. I reckon a new Ace would be kind of tight, all things considered.
Yeah.
There's a lot of characters that they could be, but I guess it's just a matter of making a character live up to the hype now, I suppose. So
My battery's about to go flat. Feels bad, man.
You can't charge your phone and
Yeah, no. I'm gonna have to disconnect real quick.
All right. We'll jump
Anyways, we got another question lined up.
Yes, sir. From Broke and Famous, the GOAT, the King. I love that guy.
That guy.
This is actually a good question. I really like it. If all of you were put inside a steel cage match to the death, who do you think would win and why? Keep in mind that the only weapon available is the steel cage itself and your body.
Easy.
Me. I'd win. I'm just going to say it right now.
What?
I'm actually going to beat all of you, hands down. Please,
Dude,
Joba,
I'm Mexican. I was
tell
built
me
for
why
cage
you-
fighting.
Bro,
I'll destroy you. I'll go over there right now and show you.
Black belt in martial arts, bro. Pipe down, my guy. So, like, that's all I'm going to do. I'll beat the hell out of all of you right now.
There are not enough kangaroos in Australia to protect you from me.
Bro, I'll pull out the toys, bro. I got snakes and spiders, kangaroos, what you want, bro. They all on my side. We Australian. They're going to support the gang first. No, I don't know. I think me. I'm going to be real with you. I ain't going to do it. It's me, hands down. I'm winning this.
I think I could too. I'm not really.
I'm not going to say me, but I'm going to say I'd be a fucking pain in the ass to take down. I'd make it hard.
I'll pay you $20 to take out Joba. Good question though. All right, Knight. I reckon Knight's a secret weapon.
I can take Broke though.
Yeah, the gun's coming out. Wait, what?
All right, next question.
Bro, I literally just left and came back, and all I heard was "get the gums out." I don't want to hear that ever again.
Next question. From @Chopper asked, this is a good question too. Why are we seeing a lot of 2.5 times attack or orb boost characters, but the highest color affinity is usually 2x, limited rare recruits excluded, even in the JP meta? Do you think there's a reason why they're holding back on increasing the color affinity boost as well? Or?
Yeah, I think that Odin's going to be a 3 times affinity booster. 3 times, bro.
Bro, 3
times. 3 times rainbow.
Bro, relax.
And his captain ability gives affinity to everyone.
Have you seen the Luffy Boa and this Kizuna? They're 2.25 affinity.
Yeah.
They're pretty
Looks
freaking
like
good.
Chopper Sugo isn't doing their research.
What's the highest conditional boost we have? Is it still 2x?
2.25, I believe.
I know treasure map units sometimes have 2.25.
Yeah, there was a treasure map law that did a 2.25, I think it was. But I think the highest conditional is still 2x.
Yeah. Interesting. But yeah, they always seem to buff the attack and orbs, but
I think because the attack and orbs is like just very like it's brain dead to understand.
Yeah, when are we getting 6+ Onami that guaranteed conditional, defense down through immunity, bro?
Oh, what a poor character.
No, and you can have the artwork with her in the
she got the Magumbos out. Let her
know. You know that scene in Wano where she puts her hands up and her tail drops?
All right, Todd.
That could legitimately be the scene, and it's like defense down goes through all affinity. Yeah, the bathhouse. That's it.
Is that the New Year's legend now?
Yeah, you've heard it here first.
Yeah, you have to be 18 plus to pull it.
You're gonna do a capture. You're gonna hold up a sign with your age.
Show you your license.
Please, Ben Hud is collecting addresses to sell to the government, bro. It's time.
The Gumbos.
Money. She got the Zampies out. All right, and then from at Pablo Lorag asked, "Do you think we'll ever see a change in the rare recruit character? Maybe they could transfer old rare recruits and some old legends to free to play. I don't know. Greetings from Spain. Shout out to you, my guy."
Isn't that just more of what we're talking about before?
Pretty much. Like,
yeah, it is.
I guess, like, you got to think about, like, do you think that there will be a situation where they just completely like shift the whole pool and like just say, all right, we're cutting out every legend and every character from 2016 from 2016 and backwards to the start of the game will just no longer be available to pull it all? Do you think that there will become a time where that occurs, or do you think it's just going to always be everything's available at all times?
I think everything will always be available. I think it'll always be available, to be honest.
I don't think they're going to remove anything.
They gotta somehow limit the pool, because pulling like the old, like we're saying, the Kayas, the Higumas, and all that stuff, like it does not help at all in the grand scheme of things.
I also think we're past the point now where they can make those old characters relevant.
Actually,
I think that ship is well and truly sailed.
They've ruined Limit Break Plus.
Limit Break Plus was meant to be it.
It was meant to be the saving grace, right? Because we were all like, "Oh, there's a chance to upgrade captain abilities." More
I thought the same
stats,
thing about Super Evolution too.
Oh, they ruined that. That's gone.
Like, there are some characters that are just so bad.
In Blackbeard Super Evolution, though.
Oh, we didn't talk about that.
That's all right. We'll talk about that next time, I think, when we see it in action, probably. But
that's probably a bigger shout.
But like, I don't know. Like, I think I agree with you, Cobb. Like, they kind of ruined the opportunity to fix old characters, because they just like they started throwing out 6+s way too early. That characters that didn't need it. They started limit break plussing legends and I mean, like I feel like the rare recruit limit break pluses are actually half decent, because giving them stats, cooldown, and a new potential ability is actually kind of good. And because rare recruits at least don't require half your fucking materials to limit break plus though. So I guess it kind of works out there, because it's not like a new rare recruit comes out with limit break plus, but it still ticks me off that a legend comes out limit break plus. It's like that legend now no longer has any room to grow aside from them adding an extra branch now to the limit break tree. Like, it just makes no sense. All right.
Like when they first introduced Limit Break Plus, I saw it more like for whatever reason, I saw it a lot like the Dokkan system. But I don't know that much about it, so
I just thought like they'd have a system where you can just you can upgrade, and then the upgrades would come out like at the same way that like 6+ comes out, right? Every month, a legend will get it. Not necessarily the newest legend, but some legend will get it, where it upgrades not only their captain, but upgrades their special. Because I think with Limit Break Pluses, the only thing that can upgrade is their captain. Their special will stay the same regardless.
Yeah, correct. And I think they kind of screwed themselves over. They kind of screwed themselves over when they started introducing like multiple 6+s a month. Like that screwed up in the early days. So now we're getting to a point now where like the only ones they can really do are like relatively newish ones. Like there are still a bunch that need them, but
I hate when they release 6+s with the initial release of the character, because it literally puts a brick wall right in front of that character and stops it from progressing any further.
I'm upset because Bullet could have been so much stronger than he actually is. Bullet's already broken still, bro.
I mean, if hypothetically Bullet was never released and then they released that character tomorrow, he would still be good.
It'd still be like top tier. It'd still be top tier, like top 5, top 10 legends, hands down.
At that point, he should remove normal attack only.
Everyone says that, but I don't think they'll ever get rid of it, because it's so broken.
That literally, like, you would
like a character that does that much damage with his special and can also remove. Or if you just have a character that can remove it, characters can just abuse the system, and it's just too much, in my opinion.
It'll be way too much. Like, versus Kaido's already busted enough. So, like, so they just don't need to do I just don't see it ever happening, but all right, we move.
I think it'd be fine.
From live viewer questions from Yoshi Evil, he asked, have you guys ever been recognized in public, and have you ever been given gifts when you guys went to anime expos? I know Todd could probably speak on this a little bit more than the rest.
Oh yeah.
We've only been recognized through Todd.
I was recognized
We went to the freaking the Stampede movie. That was good fun. We saw a few people there. It was awesome. And Pokemon Explained, who sometimes in the chat, he gave me like some One Piece medallion thing that he got. That was really cool.
Don't worry. PAX Oz 2021. We're holding a panel. All you guys pull up.
Right.
I'm flying out. I'm flying out tonight. I'm flying
First
out.
I'm hearing of it.
Yeah, all right, same.
It's already organized. Don't worry about it. I swear.
This man's got connections.
I'm not capping. No, I wish, bro. One day we'll fuck about and host the panel.
Madfest is probably going to be better, I think.
Oh, hold on. We might do that too.
Yeah, Madfest is better for like this kind of
Dual
stuff.
circuit.
Yeah, that's where Todd's all connections are. So
We'll just do a circuit at this point.
We'll get Yonker Productions to come through.
Yeah, we'll get all these boys to come through and be on the panels. There's time.
Yeah, it's going to be a while before we get to fly to the US and do anything over there.
No, that's why I'm bringing in Knight and Joba are going to live in my basement. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god.
Anyway, moving on. Okay.
So I did actually have someone recognize a podcast in a completely unrelated server once.
There's no way.
I think I told you guys about it. We were the topic got to OPTC for some reason. And I was like, "Oh, I'm actually in a podcast for this game." And someone's like, "Oh, Good Great Perfect with Toadskii." And I was like, "Oh shit!" Shout out to those guys.
Cobby and I got recognized on a Pixel One server.
Poggers. We're making moves, lads. We're making moves. Slow progress is better than no progress. So we move. From Cool Stuff asks, what do you think Bandai can do to help new players obtain old legends like V1 Whitebeard, V1 B, and V1 Mihawk? These units are solid in PvP, and as a new player, it's difficult to obtain them.
Metal exchange.
Yeah, easiest way. I mean, yeah, either you pull more and get more medals.
I mean, yeah, you can't just ask like, "Oh, give me a legend because it's old." Like, you gotta get it. Like,
it's such a double-edged sword, right? For new players, like once you miss out on all these old legends, and you're like, "Oh, I want them," but then when you start pulling them, a lot of the time you're like, "I don't want to see these legends ever again, man."
Mm-hmm.
So it's a double parallel there. But
wasn't that like V1 Shanks for you?
Oh yeah, on my second account, that motherfucker. I think I don't sucks. And then now I can't stop pulling him. So like, it's just one of those situations where the White Whale legend ends up becoming the whale.
I'm pretty sure everyone's
didn't know how good you had.
Character they pull way too much. It just has to be Garp. I see him so often.
Oh, I'm sick of him.
Dude, you fucking Aokiji.
Aokiji for Joba. I think it's
I fucking hate you. I got him today. I did another multi and I got him today. I got so triggered.
For me, I think it's Neko. I think it is for me.
I've pulled him in ages, actually.
I pull him so much, dude. But
Shirahoshi Manchuri pops up all the time for me.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I used to get a Cracker all the time, and V1 Big Mom.
Would you call me?
Oh my god! All right, next question. All right, J Ross 25 asks, how long do you guys realistically see the game staying relevant? As long as One Piece continues, the game's life will obviously be strong. But when the manga eventually ends, how long would the game last after that?
Oh no! I'm not sure the game will last as long as the manga.
5 more years? I don't know.
It depends on if something happens and they drive the game to the ground. But so far, Yoshi's doing good work, so I don't really see that happening unless
minimum. It's at least got at least 2 to 3 years. Like that's my opinion.
I can guarantee 2 to 3 years
at least.
But
yeah,
I don't know. Like, there's a lot.
Okay, so like you're saying, like hypothetically, if the game did make it until the end of the manga, how far past that do you think?
No, it's ending
6 months. 6 months.
But then you got Dragon Ball, right? Dragon Ball seems to stay relevant.
I feel like it'll keep up as long as the anime.
Yeah, the anime still has to catch up.
I feel like Dragon Ball makes enough money that it can stay relevant. Mm-hmm. If Treasure Cruise stays at the same revenue level, I think eventually Bandai is going to say it's not necessarily a sunken cost, but it's not worth. It's not making enough money. You know what I mean? In comparison to like FGO makes so much goddamn money. Dokkan makes so much money. Like a lot of these games just make an obscene amount of money, and Bandai can look at Treasure Cruise and say, okay, the numbers you're pulling with the IP that you have, it just isn't enough, and could either do a crazy OPC, like they could release a new game that follows.
Bounty Rush boys, let's go.
That's akin to Treasure Cruise. I could see that occurring, but like I don't know if I think 2 to 3 years is safe, but after that, I think it's kind of muddy waters from there.
I got a tinfoil hat theory. What
All
if
right, hold on. We need to do the ritual. All right, everyone in the chat and in the call, put your tinfoil's hat on. It is that time episode.
I've had it on every. I have it on every podcast. So, like, you're very right about that. That One Piece is such a big name that there's no way they should be making as little money as they are, relatively speaking, like compared to Dokkan and FGO and all those other ones. And so, what if Yoshi is like, Bandai's attempt to address that, and he started turning things around, making people want to spend more on the game.
He was a big factor for Dokkan inherently. Like he was a huge player for Dokkan being so successful. So like Treasure Cruise is on that path, but like with what we've talked about today, where like the Sugofest flip flop between good and bad, and like all these issues that still occur to today, and like there's a lot he needs to do in a short period of time to start generating way more revenue than that.
I've never played a game like when it ends, like when they close the server. So I don't know what they would do if something like that were to happen. If they would like, just go nuts and give us like every legend or some bullshit, or
shout out to Hunter Battle All Stars. That's the goat gacha right there.
I think they just kill it at that point, So like, I think they wouldn't leave the servers running and let people play around with whatever if they weren't making any money.
It all comes down to how many resources it takes for them to keep the game up, and like as long as the money's coming in, they're gonna leave it alive. Because I mean, like Dokkan, like for Dragon Ball, like they've got the Dragon Ball manga still going, but the anime, which is definitely the most popular piece of property, hasn't been running for like what 3-4 years, something like that.
Yeah,
and the game is still doing exceptionally well.
It's probably like
it totally comes down to how much money they're making.
There's definitely there's definitely a lot of like statistics involved and like maths involved where it's like there's probably like a percentage amount of profit that they generate. And
you can't say to me that in a year's time Dokkan's going to be shut down. There is no way they're going to shut down a game that's making that much freaking money.
Dokkan makes $400 million in 6 months.
There is no way they shut down free money. It's free money.
It's literally
and the thing.
It's so money. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the thing is like you can't rely on like the anime and the manga to obviously keep the game going, because you got to think like this is just one that comes to my head because it's of Todd. Naruto is an extremely popular anime and manga, and then all their gacha games are dog shit, and like they were super popular for a long time, and then like all that they have to do is like make one mistake in the game that completely
They did, and they ruined it,
Exactly. And so what's saying that Treasure Cruise or Dokkan that can't happen to one of them? Because very easily can.
Yeah,
I just think like Dokkan doesn't really step too far outside the line, as far as I know. If I'm talking mad trash, then I apologize. But like as far as I know, Dokkan really follows the line quite well and just does the same thing over and over again. And if they're really pulling out 400 million, like every 12 months, like US only, or like JP, sorry, like they don't really need to do anything extravagant or take any risk, because if you have a constant flow of $400 million coming in, there's not much to really go off in that sense, So I just feel like they're kind of safe. But Treasure Cruise, or at least One Piece in general, like it's a very popular IP, but outside of Japan, it's not on the same caliber at all. It's very risky in that sense, but the game still holds up well, Treasure Cruise at least. But there's a lot he needs to fix. At least Yoshi, there's a lot of pressure on him from the community side in a short period of time to meet expectations.
Well, at least we've got Nick, which helps convey some of those messages.
100%, So like Nick's very, very much listening, and like as was made mention within their episode and with the Chris episode 2, that they do listen to the community a lot. They are lurking in the Reddits and the Discords around and stuff. So
Bandai spy.
That's the true spies, bro. We ain't the spies, man. But the spies, they out there though. But it's now a matter of like executing like those issues and putting those things into action, and hopefully that means revenue.
It's still a desk.
I think someone just slammed a door in my house, so either someone's upset or I'm just gonna say I'm gonna wrap this up. No, I'm joking. So from we'll go with one more question. Anything else? Sorry on that before I cut it to the last question.
No.
Nope. All right, cool. Last
Nope.
question from Yoshi Evil again. In the anime, what are your favorite moments excluding obvious kata fight? For me, it's the last croc fight. The music and lead up to it made me cry a bit. All right, well, Yoshi, you're crying, so you're a bitch.
Whoa.
Jeez.
Hey,
Hey, man, real man cry, dog. I'm going to kick it to
that's
you.
exactly.
All right, I got two that come to mind. I mean, it's hard. It's really hard to pick favorite moments in One Piece. There's so many fucking good
really
moments.
is.
It's been going for like 25 years now, or close to it, or something.
Yeah, almost. Yeah.
But two that come to mind are when in Sabaudi, or however they pronounce it, where Usopp is about to ask Rayleigh about the One Piece, and then Luffy stops him.
Oh,
Yeah, no, that is a powerful scene.
Yeah,
That
and then
is sick. I like
and also when he gets asked, if he's gonna conquer the Grand Line or whatever, he's like, "Man, I don't want to conquer anything. It's a free. I just want to be the most free. I just want to be the freest
Real shit.
person in the ocean." I was like, "Shit." And then also, whenever Kuma appeared at the end of Thriller Bark, and Zoro and Sanji were both like willing to give up their lives to protect Luffy, that's some good shit.
I
For
mean, I've got a
me-
favorite One Piece moment.
Okay.
It's not animated yet though. That's the problem.
Ooh, can't do that.
It is that chapter of the flashback.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I think we all
Ooh.
know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Read the
Still
manga.
Still knows the
But
cliff notes. but everyone
anime
else
is really
knows
tricky,
the
actually. I mean, there's a couple good ones like the walk to Arlong Park was
I was about to
really
say,
good.
that's-
That was badass.
Yeah,
ones, you know,
putting
the
his
Ennis
hat on
Bobby-
Nami. Like,
The Ennis
yeah.
Bobby 1-2 is great. Like that shit go crazy with Rob. All those ones to me always go.
Oh, the say you want to live to Robin.
That's it.
That
was
one
a good
never
one.
hit the here for me for some reason.
Yeah, 'cause you don't like Robin. We move on.
I like Robin.
Just before the walk to Arlong Park, when Nami's like stabbing herself in the arm, trying to.
That shit was hard,
yeah.
bro. Like,
and then,
damn.
yeah, that is like such a like
Oh my
full-on
god!
scene.
We not talk about Zoro on Thriller Bark.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
That boy goes dummy, bro, huh?
My favorites actually.
That is probably my favorite thing because
Zoro the
when the
goat.
music hit, when the music hit, I was like, okay.
Yeah, when they find him, he's like, "What happened? Nothing."
He's like, nothing happened, bro. I'm like, huh? Bitch, what the fuck? Goddamn. What do you mean nothing?
I thought of another kind of random one. Whenever like Usopp and Luffy are fighting on Water 7 about Mary, and Luffy is about to say to Usopp, like, "Hey, if you don't like the way I run things, then you can get the fuck out of here." And right before he finishes saying that, Sanji like kicks Luffy like to the wall and like he crashes
Yeah.
into it and shit.
I love that
He's like, don't even think saying that shit, bitch.
because like there's also like at the very end of that arc where like Usopp's like practicing his apology, and then like Luffy's like, oh, I'm just gonna go get him back, and then Zoro stops him.
Zoro's
He's
like,
like,
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
That's the moment I was gonna say.
That
Yeah,
shit
Dude,
goes-
Zoro's
If
so
it's that
fucking
easy
cool.
to come and go from this bloody crew, then
Yeah,
I'm not going to
exactly.
respect you as
And
captain.
Zoro says we don't suffer no bitches.
Hey, let them know,
Dude,
dog.
Zoro is fucking E.
I like that shit, man. That shit was crazy.
Man, this series
and that's
is
when
so
you
good.
actually learn, you learn throughout the series at different points in time that each crew member has a reason for respecting Luffy, even though he's goofy and he doesn't take things seriously half the
Yeah,
time.
for sure.
Him as a captain demands respect.
Yeah, exactly. I appreciate it. Bro,
Yeah.
Zero Play just said I cried when Pell died. Come on, dog. Pell?
Okay.
I
I
love
Yeah,
that
right.
now.
The Will
I
of
hate
Peace.
it so much.
The amount of times I used to pull Pell.
No, I wouldn't, bro. I fucking hate that guy. He's
got-
I got Chaka today. I hate Chaka so much.
The Whitebeard death scene is also one of my favorites.
Yeah, when he
Totally
says
agree.
when he's about to say One Piece exists, and then Goku's like, "Don't
Yeah.
do it, bro. Please don't do
Ma-
it, man."
Mary
Yeah,
dying
like,
always
just the
hit
fact that
hard.
he's squealing like
Oh, there's that time that I'm sorry, I'm thinking of all these random Sanji and Luffy and Usopp, they're riding a boat when they're on Sky Island, and then they're like, Usopp's like, man, imagine if this falls like all the way back down to the ocean, and Luffy's like, man, that would never happen, and then it happens, and they make like a really funny expression. You really have to see it to kind of get how funny it is.
The NL shock face when the lightning
and-
doesn't affect him.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's
I was-
great.
Now this is
I was
about like other animes amazing scenes, and it's just
I was in VC early, like right before we started with Papi, and I was telling him how NL like he got totally cucked because like think of how strong he is. Like he's got to be at that level, and he got totally fucked just because he happened to face the one
Plot
guy
armor.
that's like his
I don't
natural.
know, Admiral level. I think that's a bit That's a bit much.
I mean, he can summon like fucking thunderbolts.
He doesn't. I mean, there's no evidence to say he has armament haki.
We'll save that debate for a GGP.
I mean, he
extra.
definitely has observation, but
Oh,
I
that,
don't know.
that guy.
that's a good shout too from Jimmy John. Luffy punching Charles in that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
that whole arc, I
The
love
reaction to
Sabaody.
your heart, John.
Sabaody is
that
my favorite arc in
animation-
One Piece.
That animation was bonkers. That shit was bonkers, bro. You're like, oh damn, hold on.
Yeah, and then the Kid Law and Luffy standing out against all the Marines
Oh,
right
yeah.
outside the sail house.
It's going crazy.
Dude, everyone loves to say, you know, like Water 7, fucking Wano is like the best arcs in One Piece, but I think Sabaody is like fucking top tier.
It's up there.
It's just so
It's up
deep.
there.
Like,
goes kind of crazy because it just shows how weak the Straw Hats are in comparison to the world, you know.
yeah.
Mhm.
Plus, it kind of shows you like what the world like setting is. Like, you didn't realize there was slavery in the world of One Piece up until that point, I don't think. And so you're like, oh shit, there's like a lot more going on behind the scenes than I realized. And then when they all get
I just
separated,
find it really
it's
funny
fucked
that
up.
Rayleigh sells. I find it funny that Rayleigh sells himself into slavery just to get out of debt.
Smart man.
Sometimes it'd be like that, man.
My guy's got the juggles, bro. He's got the toolie up in his brain, you know. Smart boy, right there. Rayleigh goated though.
Rayleigh jumping in to save Zoro as well.
Oh, so tight, dude.
Oh, yeah.
That
was
animation
sick.
type beat, that shit went
Oh.
crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, Kizaru was fucking shit up though. Shout out to that guy. I've given like 7 so far today. I'm sorry.
We've been out like 30 today. It's an except. All right, I think that about does it for us on GGP for another episode of.
Oh, damn, son.
We're done.
Oh,
Episode-
wait, before.
Oh, he's done it.
Hang on, there's one that Unel Scott just mentioned. Kaido's introduction was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when he jumps
One
off
of the
the
best
cloud.
introductions in the series. Bar none.
Man's trying to kill himself.
Yeah,
Oh my
that was great.
Me?
Huh? Huh? Wait, hold on.
Oh,
Hold on. No, my man was quiet. And probably hey, bro, you alright? You okay? I'll send you a message later, bro. God damn, boy.
All right,
I got one.
good.
I got one last one. If you
No,
guys
no,
are.
no.
All right. I'll tell it after. It's not that big.
Last one. Hurry up. Hurry up.
All right.
Last one.
All right. When Luffy is talking to fucking Brook at the end of Thriller Bark, and he tells him about Laboon and all that shit, and he's playing the piano and he's crying, and all that good shit's going on. Dude, Thriller Bark is a very underrated arc. I really love
I
that
hate
arc.
Bark. It's so
What?
slow.
No. Everyone shut up. Everyone, we're going to get into a goddamn debate again for the next hour. And a half.
We'll do this for the banter afterwards.
We'll save this for an extra at some point too. But let's end this thing. All right. Thank you guys for listening for another episode of Good Great Perfect, episode 31. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It helps us out a great deal. And hit that like button as well, because it does also help us out a great deal as well. If you want to follow us on our social medias, you can click down there in the description down below to the link tree. There you can find our Twitter and our Instagram at GGP Podcast on both of those platforms. Make sure Instagram has a lot of our behind the scenes type
And
feed.
on Instagram, if you're following, as soon as we get live, I actually put out an image of the live stream. So you could have actually watched this live on Twitch on Todd's live stream. So make sure you're following over there because all updates will be on Twitter and Instagram.
Yes, sir. So make sure if you want to get the behind the scenes, you go to the if you want to ask us questions as well, make sure you ask us on both those platforms and our YouTube community tab. Shout out to those guys as well. Shout out to our family on Anchor, anchor.fm/good great perfect. There you can find our podcast there for the audio only version, as well as our distribution to a plethora of other platforms as well. Make sure you go follow us on all those platforms there and leave us some reviews if you're following on the iTunes one there. So, helps us out a great deal there on top of that. Shout out to all my co-hosts. You can find all of their socials and their links in the description down below. But without further ado, though, gentlemen, I've been Captain Papi, Cobb, Dill, Joba, Todd, and Knight. Thank you all for listening to another episode. Talk to you guys next time. Peace.